put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Sad. Haha. Show me your phone.
This is the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and it is Thursday, the 17th day of April 2025, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Combi, and this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Good morning, and my name is Akinlabi Holder, and it's good to have you here with us today, even though we are amongst solemn feelings today in the studio with the loss of one of our colleagues in the media industry, Mr. Leandro Norway.
Yes, it is indeed a solemn moment as we pay tribute to somebody who has been around for a very long time, impacted a lot of lives. Some of you might also know him, well, most of you will also know him as a panist. That is kind of how he was introduced, and of course, being there in the media, even with Lee Tech Productions. You know, Akinlabi, really take some time and reflect on life, yes, and to reflect on the type of interactions you have with people, how you live your life, yes, and how, yes, you want to be seen, whether you are here or you are gone. And you know, we really join with all of you as we, you know, extend condolences to the family of Leandro this morning. I mean, the information came yesterday, you know, as a shock, but
Yeah.
also as an eye-opener. And as you were looking at the tribute there on the screen, you know, you're kind of seeing the amount of people that had love for Leandro.
Yes.
Even now, they still have that kind of love for him. He made an impact on their lives, you know. And what I know about Leandro is like a really, his character was just so cheeky, mischievous little boy,
Yeah.
but yes, yet so very focused, so very loving. You know, it was just
He made sure to show love to everybody around him, you know. And he always had this drive to kind of keep everybody together as a family, particularly in the media industry. He tried to keep everybody together as a family, keep everybody together, loving each other, appreciating each other, supporting each other. And he was always that kind of person, giving you support no matter what.
yeah, you know. And so we just want to everybody to kind of live that same type of life. Be good to each other, be good to yourself, you
Yes.
know, because I mean, the way things are going, there's no prediction really on when your time will come. So you want to give your best self in every situation, in every scenario, have good relationships, forgive
Yes.
quick and move on, you know, and live the best version of yourself, give of yourself, and also encourage people to be their best as well. You know, a space where people can be their best selves in your presence, you know, and just live your life to the fullest, you know. Remember to serve God also, and pay attention to yourself. What are the things you need, whether it's mentally, spiritually, physically, you know, just take care of you, love on yourself,
Agreed.
and that love will emanate to everybody else around you. What you can really show yourself,
That's so
you know,
true.
and take good care of your own self as well.
That is so true. That is so true. We need to, like you say, focus on ourselves, make sure to take care of ourselves, and it's only when we take care of ourselves that we could really take care of others and show others love and that kind of thing. So the work really starts with us, and I think Leandro, he did that work in terms of loving himself, and he was able to give that love to so many people in Tobago. I don't know, I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about him. They've always talked about how he was so loving and kind and supportive towards them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, you know, and you want to kind of leave that legacy when you are leaving as well. And you know, just this morning while I was getting ready to come into studio, this as the same thought crossed my mind. I can't think of anybody who has anything negative to say about him. And I'm thinking about my life. And I'm like, Adana, you stepped on some toes. You stepped on
Yes.
some toes. And, you know, it really is a moment to reflect, to really reflect on your own life while you are still here, while you still have the time to correct some things that you've done. And, you know, to kind of to just live free, to live freely, and to just embrace people, forgive and forget and move on. And, you know, hope for forgiveness from people as well, you know. And I also want to encourage our viewers this morning, while I was talking about loving on yourself and taking care of yourself, also ensure that you pay attention to your physical health as well. You want to ensure that you're in a good space. I know sometimes when I look at the things that I eat on a daily basis, sometimes you might tend to snack mostly and you forget the fruits, you forget the vegetables, and, you know, you really want to ensure that you're in a good space healthily, health-wise as well. You know, so mentally, spiritually, physically, with your health, just ensure that you're in a good place so that you can give of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. All right, and so this is our little tribute to Leandro. There isn't enough words. There isn't enough that we could do to show our love for him. And again, we send out condolences to his family, to his friends, his loved ones, and the entire media fraternity and all of the Tobago community as well. All right, we're so happy that you're here with us this morning. But before we continue conversations this morning in studio, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, April 17th, 2025. The PNM released its manifesto pledging a bold new chapter in the nation's development with less than 2 weeks to the 2025 general election. Prime Minister Stuart Young highlighted 6 strategic priorities focused on modern governance, safety, and economic growth. Key initiatives include creating a Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency to improve public service delivery and transparency, digitizing government operations, and decentralizing services. On security, the plan emphasizes tech-driven policing and elite units. The manifesto also outlines strategies to diversify the economy in response to global shifts and evolving external challenges. Up next, Senior Superintendent Earl Eli of the TTPS Tobago Division is urging political leaders and supporters to maintain peace during the election season, reminding them that there is life after elections. While no formal meeting has been held, police are in contact with individual parties to plan security. Eli confirmed officers remain prepared and are engaging with key party influencers. He emphasized unity and respect, noting recent talks focused on coordinating motorcade schedules to ensure safety and effective police support throughout the campaign. And finally, the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association has urged government officials to address 4 pressing issues in the island's tourism sector. They seek the restructuring of the Tobago Tourism Agency, repeal of restrictive foreign investment laws, and a review of foreign direct investment conditions. The association also calls for access to 3% of the room tax for destination marketing and an airlift growth plan tied to the new airport terminal. With elections approaching, the association emphasized the need for political parties to share their tourism plans and express readiness to collaborate with stakeholders. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Brianna, for our news there in 90 seconds. Manifesto, elections time here in Trinidad and Tobago. Remind me of that ministry again. I know it's something about implementation and efficient.
Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency.
Right. That will be very, very interesting, especially the efficiency part, because we know that there are struggles when dealing with government agencies in terms of the processes and the procedures and the policies. Sometimes you take forever to get to from the beginning of engaging with a stakeholder or vendor. Let's talk about vendors. When you engage a vendor for service, to get to the end now in terms of collecting your remuneration for your services, it takes some time. So the efficiency part for me, I really am interested to see what kind of impact that will have, because you've been hearing the frustration from vendors and other stakeholders who have any type of engagement with government agencies. The lengthy waiting, and they have to call back and you have to come back and you have to bring back this and you have to carry back that. So let's see how that.
Also, the government must become more responsive to the changing situations in this world, because many times the government tends to, because the system is so bureaucratic, they're very slow towards changing, very slow towards responding to the current needs of the society.
Yeah, that's right. Because sometimes, and the accessibility as well. I mean, sometimes you have an urgent situation and you really need attendance, like for the Registrar General, for instance. I mean, you have an urgent situation and you need an attention now and you have to go and come and go and come. And, we really want to see, as you mentioned, Akinlabi, those changes taking place so that we can have easy access to the services that the government provides this morning. Brianna, what were you thinking about the manifesto and the things in there so far that you've been able to see?
Well, right. As you were touching on the point of the Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency, and as you said, efficiency, that's a key word there for that ministry. I hope efficiency means that, probably within space of 2 to 3 days maximum, that, things can get, done, or, as I say, transparency, be, transparent to the public.
I am hoping for 1 day, 24 hours. That would be absolutely awesome, But, we give it time and we'll see how it goes. And we want to remind persons, April 28th is election day. Go out and vote. Don't sit behind your devices and complain and not make your voices heard. Go and, do your civil duty and ensure that you vote for your selected candidate in this upcoming election. And of course, Tobago Updates Television will be bringing to you all the details as it relates to elections 2025. All right, Biana, it's Holy Thursday. We're entering into that period of Easter,
Yes.
long weekend again. What are the plans? I know there are so many festivities on the island. I know there's the goat racing and there's all kind of things happening this weekend. What are your plans? What you're going to be involved in this weekend?
I'll take in a bit of something. I'm not sure what it is as yet, but I'll take in a bit of something.
All right, Akilabi, what are your plans?
Work, and more work.
Well, to whom much is given, much is required, and I of course also will, participate in some of the activities like me, and I'm not sure exactly what yet, but I will be, in part of something happening over the weekend. And also tonight is Melodies from Heaven, the Tobago Festivals Commission, the Jazz and Soul event starts from tonight.
Yes.
In Shore Park there, and of course they have their activities throughout the weekend as well. So maybe you never can tell, you might see me somewhere over the weekend if you're out and about. And to all of you, as those of you who are going out, also do have a wonderful, wonderful time and be safe as well. Biana, I'll see you again on the flip side, so have a good one.
You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. All right, and this morning we start off the celebrations by saying happy birthday to Natasha Kwashi. She is celebrating a birthday today. And we say happy birthday to you, fiery, foxy, red hair. We hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday today. And I pray that as you enter into this season of Easter, that you have some time to reflect and, you have a wonderful, wonderful time. And that as you enter into this new season, that the pages and the chapters of this book is beautifully written.
We say happy birthday to Miss Laurel Brown. Happy birthday, Miss Laurel Brown. And your birthday coincide with a long weekend. I hope you and the family take some time off and you'll celebrate. Probably take a trip somewhere fancy or support the Rhythm and Soul Festival. Just have a time this weekend. Be safe and God's richest blessings to you and all the best in your upcoming year.
And I'm hoping that you're doing some singing over the weekend as well. Have you ever heard Laurel sing? A
Never.
Beautiful voice there. Yes, okay. I hope you're doing some singing this weekend, you and the fam bam. I hope you all are going to have a wonderful time for the birthday as well. And we round up these celebrations by saying happy birthday to Christian Sebro. Christian Sebro is celebrating a birthday as well, and we say happy birthday to you. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday as well, and we pray God's blessings upon your life. Whatever you do this weekend, be safe and be good. So happy birthday to you. And of course, even if you are celebrating and we don't have your photo, whatever you are celebrating this weekend, we too join in the celebrations with you. And we do hope that you remember to put God first, because he is the sole reason why you even have anything to celebrate. And I'm just being told that I said jazz and soul. What I meant to say is rhythm and soul, being hosted by the Tobago Festivals Commission. They start tonight with Melodies from Heaven. And on Saturday, I can't remember which event is Saturday, and then again on Sunday. Saturday's in Buku, and then Sunday at Parade Grounds there in the Dwight York Stadium. Yes. So, you can pass through and take part in something that is happening there. There's the Buku Goat Race, and there's so many other things happening as well. Other small events taking place for children, for adults. So many things happening on the weekend here in Tobago. So, go out, get some fresh air in your lungs, and interact and socialize with the Tobago community. All right, Akinlabi, it's not exactly Friday, but It's the Friday of the week for this week. So who are we having conversations with in studio this morning?
Well, this morning we're going to have conversations with Mr. Don Grant, executive producer of the Tobago Fashion Coda 7, and he's going to talk about the Tobago Fashion Coda's new dates. Afterwards, we're going to have Marcus Daniel in, and he's going to have some sports discussions with J. Hugh Gordon, the secretary of the NAAA. And they're going to be talking about Carifta Games 2025. This year it's in Trinidad and Tobago, and I believe it's taking place this weekend or next weekend. From tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes. And Marcus Daniel is also going to be interviewing Miss Kuki Melville. She will be the manager of Trinidad and Tobago, Team Trinidad and Tobago for Carifta Games. That's our girl here, our wee girl, Kuki Melville. And she's going to be talking about the preparations for Carifta Games 2025.
All right. So viewers, you heard it, and you want to stay with us as we have these conversations, and we bring you in the know as to what is happening right here on the island of Tobago. So whether you're right here, you're in Trinidad, the Caribbean region, the United States of America, here's what we want you to do. Leave a comment on our Facebook live stream or on our YouTube channel. And as we go for a break, before we begin these conversations, we ask you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
heard her voice on the radio, seen her in your worship, and have sung her songs during your time of praise. Sinesh.
Everybody now, let's go.
Sinesh comes to Tobago for Melodies from Heaven on April 17th. The Shore Park Complex alights with praise and worship from 6 p.m. for Melodies from Heaven featuring Sinesh. Samuel Madas.
You'll be the only one who's excited to call your name.
Positive.
Me never could have changed my mind.
Blessed Messenger.
Give blood of Jesus over your family.
Renee Fortune and many more.
From my head to my feet.
Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. April 17th at Shore Park Complex. Melodies from Heaven. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
Rise and shine at Lemonade, the breakfast party. Start your day with a zesty twist at our Lemonade breakfast party. Get ready for a morning filled with fresh flavors, great vibes, and golden sunshine. On Easter Monday morning, 21st April, from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fairways Restaurant and Lounge. Lemonade. What's in store at Lemonade? Signature lemonade, freshly squeezed and bursting with flavor. Breakfast bites, delicious treats to fuel your day. Good vibes and great music, because every morning deserves a rhythm with Nessa Preppy.
Yes, yeah, that thing they get the vibe.
Your Lemonade DJ, Selector 3D and Snoopy. Mix Master, DJ Elon, aka Pappy, Akeem 5.0 and Salty. Foreign Bass, Island Soundboy, DJ Marsh, Mighty Crush and King K. And hosted by Major Penny. Sponsored by B-Mobile, Angostura, Penny Savers, AVT General Services, Comsurge Networking, Cache. Join us for the ultimate breakfast experience this Easter Monday morning from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fairways Restaurant and Lounge. Lemonade. Lemonade.
When you would have brought home gold, the entire country would have been at a standstill, reveling in this victory. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock, ladies and gents.
The first thing most Trinidadians think about is me pelting coconut.
Still. You think you could handle the pressure?
Ready. People call me Andrew, you're a miracle, Andrew, you're a champion. I say, hold on, why not you?
Ladies and gents, welcome to the playbook.
Like a rest.
Don't worry about that.
Pressure is a privilege.
You can't bring too many at a share no point. Was it tiebreaker?
There's some things that you would learn that can't be taught in a class.
Correct. Stop telling them don't run. Like, what do you mean don't run?
Easy. All sports.
All right, we're gonna make this short and real sweet.
Ready, set,
It goes a little something
go.
like.
We break down the moves needed to win on and off the field.
My compa is the best
Legendary.
compa.
All right, I feel.
Curry good too. A good beginning makes a brilliant ending.
This has been the playbook, and class is dismissed.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
I've had the pleasure and privilege of building beautiful collaborative relationships with civil society organizations and with various faith-based organizations. And I'm asking you, if you've been on this journey with me, to continue this journey. And if you weren't on this journey with me before, I'm asking you to join the movement. There's a lot of work to be done in Trinidad and Tobago. We've started the work and have been doing meaningful work with you. And I'm asking for all of civil society, all of faith-based organizations to be all in with Team PNM. We have work to do. We have the ability to get it done, but we need you to join us on this movement. On election day, place your confidence and your vote in the team that has Trinidad and Tobago at heart, and the team that's willing to work with all sectors to transform our society.
That was a paid political advertisement.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
welcome back. Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. And as you are aware, we're going to head straight on into conversation this morning. We speak with Mr. Don Grant, executive producer of Tobago Fashion Coda 7. And of course, as you are aware, there is a postponement to the event which should have been taking place this weekend. And we're going to have that conversation this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you and your guest, Mr. Holder, Akinabe Holder. Yes. How can you forget? And all the people out there in Cyberland.
Right. And so now we have a situation where we were all hyped up and geared up and ready to be a part of Fashion Coda 7 this weekend, and only to get the news of the postponement. Before we get into the new date, because I know there's a new date already released, before we get into that, can we just go over briefly the reason for the postponement at this stage?
Correct. Well, the main reason is due to the elections. Let's face the fact, it's heating up. And because of the attention that this election is getting, it just was so overwhelming that we had to postpone. The fact that, what can I say about this elections? It's crucial, it's critical, and we must come out and vote to determine the way forward. Let's face the fact. A lot of people are holding back. Lots of people are in reserve. They are unsure as to what the future is going to bring, whether they like it or not. The politics or the government of any land control our lives to a certain extent. It's just what and how it is. You know, we're a land of laws, right?
Well, let me just ask this, Mr. Grant, not to cut you off, sorry, but in terms of the date that was set for Fashion Coda, was that date set before the election date was called, or was it set after the election?
It was way before the election date. And let's face the fact, the election came about. First of all, the appointment of the new Prime Minister came about unknown to us. I know me, I'm not in the circle. So that was one. And then, soon thereafter, elections was announced. So what do? Your thing is already in train, and the train having left the station now, you have to adapt and adopt in a manner thereof. I tried and just couldn't outshine this national election that's coming up, and it's one that's very, very important. So let the elections pass, and after elections, we will go on to get right back to Korea. Same place, same time. Just now it will be on the 31st of May. In fact, it's another long weekend. It's Indian Arrival Day weekend. So we'll see, we'll celebrate and come together at Tobago, Port Tobago, of course, always being in the picture.
So Mr. Grant, sometimes we tend to feel a bit of disappointment when we planning something to postpone it, right? But in this postponement, there's been some blessings. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, most definitely. What has happened? Well, we had a workshop here on the 14th at the Magdalena Grande. Yes. It was a makeup workshop sponsored by Revlon. And what happened? Well, with production and things here in Tobago, we always have to go to Trinidad for so many goods and services. The makeup, for example, was one where they had to bring in 5 makeup artists from Trinidad, 5 hairstylists. So I've always pushed the Tobago product in the Tobago first, and got Revlon now to, in fact, train 7 makeup artists here in Tobago, so that Tobago can be, in fact, Revlon ready, and open up an industry now for Revlon to come into the space. It's about business, but to have people on the ground in Tobago who are qualified. I mean, listen, I can be as good as any and be better than many. Yeah. Right here in Tobago, we can do it, So how do we get up to par? Well, the training is one. And of course, the hairstylists as well, they will be getting involved with them. So it was a major, major benefit to have them, because now, for the 31st, we're going to have 5 makeup artists from Tobago, and 5 hairstylists from Tobago, avoiding me now another expense because I had to have 5 rooms, first of all, at the Magdalena for them and pay 5 air tickets, as well.
Yes.
So, it's a cost factor. And I always try to point out the business of fashion. It's not just having a fashion show and looking nice. And, this is a multi-billion-dollar business. And every move you make is going to cost you. So you have to be very careful as to the move you make. But in keeping Tobago first and foremost and focused, I've always been trying. That's what Code has been all about,
And talking about that,
and
talking about bringing Tobago up, and of course providing opportunities, do you have any other plans in mind in terms of continuations with collaborations with other brands to ensure that Tobagonians get the opportunities that was provided by Revlon in this instance?
Correct. So that's the point. And yes, there are going to be lots of other things coming up. In fact, the world famous makeup artist Kirk Cambridge Pash, he does theater. This is a makeup designer, okay? He's done The Wiz. He's done For Color Girls Only. And we were speaking about designing a costume for the theater that's going to be used, let's say, 8 days a week for 2 hours, as opposed to designing a dress for someone that's going to be used for an occasion, let's say a wedding, or you going out on a date, or using a dress, let's say, 8 times a year. So how does this construction come about? And we are going to be bringing people here to Tobago that's going to be talking as to different aspects of the design. So Coda is going to be doing more for the Tobago fashion industry. Stay tuned. I don't want to preempt myself and go out, but right now, Revlon certainly has come out of this postponement to the 31st. We have time, and they are going to be training these makeup artists and hairstylists at the Magdalena for the new date on the 31st.
Mr. Grant, you spoke about the fashion industry being a billion-dollar industry. Just speak to persons, because in Tobago we don't really have that strong appreciation for the potential of fashion for the people of Tobago. Just speak about the potential for persons in terms of making a living or getting more financial stability or financial empowerment from fashion industry.
Correct. And that's so very important because the fashion, in addition to being a business, it's a lifestyle. And it's so multifaceted. There's, makeup, hairstylist, the nail tech. I mean, everything you're wearing, Akinlabe, someone sat down and drew a pattern or maybe had an idea. That's your intellectual property, first of all. Then you have pattern maker. You have the person now who is going to stitch and sew and bring the garment to life, the colors, the fabrics. I mean, people who really design and create fabrics. It's so very important to have the students, let's say, the cosmetologists, your skincare products. It's all part and parcel. And it is an all-encompassing industry, I must say, that not everybody could be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, or a pilot. I'm sorry, And these other industries that we tend to have here, a lot of artistry, a lot of really, really great people. I was at a fashion show last night. I mean, I was very impressed and was able now to bring in other Tobagonian designers into Coda that wasn't there before. Let's face the fact, and that's what it's all about, coming together. The islands. I don't know. I think we have a lot of autonomy here already in Tobago. Let's face the fact. Let's use what we have, right, and bring the islands together and come as one. I mean, I really question as to whether or not Tobago, being the numbers that we have here, could really afford to stand on its own. Let's face the fact, business is about numbers, so we need that intervention. We need that subvention. I mean, a lot of the oil and gas I mean, is in Tobago waters, you know, so we don't want to go there now.
That's right, you know.
Like, how do we claim our own, you understand?
Right. We look forward to the new data. We do look forward to Fashion Coda being staged on the 31st of May, right here on the island of Tobago. But before we wrap this conversation, guys, tomorrow is a special day. Tomorrow, Mr. Don Grant would be celebrating his birthday. Yes, he's celebrating his birthday tomorrow. So you can leave your comments on our Facebook live stream or on our YouTube channel as he celebrates his birthday tomorrow. And remember, the new date for Fashion Coda 2025 is the 31st of May 2025, right here on the island of Tobago. So if you don't have your tickets yet, now is your opportunity to get your tickets, get on down there and be a part of what is happening right here on the island of Tobago. We have to go for a short break.
Okay. Yes. Okay, let's go to the break. But before we do, you mentioned tickets. We are going to offer a 2-tier ticket as well system. Stay tuned. Lots of things to come, and we're going to make Tobago Fashion Coda bigger and better.
That's right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We've been speaking with Mr. Don Grant, executive producer of Fashion Coda, Tobago Fashion Coda. And of course, stay tuned for the new ticket tiers and the prices and where you can get your tickets from. But in the meantime, of course, as you are aware, it is the Friday of the week. And so we head on over to our sports segment with our sport presenter, Mr. Marcus Daniel, Mr. Cricket. Yes, he's going to be having that conversation with you this morning. So do stay tuned. And as we go for a short break and as we leave for the morning, we want you to have a wonderful, wonderful Easter weekend. Akinlabi, help me to tell them it's time to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Welcome to the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival on April 19th, 2025. We invite you to an evening of smooth rhythms and soulful music as the sun dips behind Buku Bay. Let all your senses be tantalized. Enjoy an array of seafood dishes, browse crafts and designs created by local artisans, and lose yourself in the soulful melodies of John Sakata, Brian McKnight,
It's undeniable that we should be together.
Vonnet Bigford,
When the lightning crack the waters and the waves roll and break.
Mikal Teja,
Where else I go, without you, my darling.
and the best of Tobago's talent. Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. The Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival, April 19th at Buku Integrated Facility. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Welcome to the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival on April 19th, 2025. We invite you to an evening of smooth rhythms and soulful music as the sun dips behind Buku Bay. Let all your senses be tantalized. Enjoy an array of seafood dishes, browse crafts and designs created by local artisans, and lose yourself in the soulful melodies of John Sakata,
Well,
from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
The Caribbean Game. It's the biggest junior track and field in the region. Easter weekend. Haste the Corporate National Stadium. TNT.
Come and feel the passion. Come and feel the pride. We're on the track and in the pool. We're on the field and our dreams collide. The Caribbean's coming. They're bringing their dreams so bold. Sweet Trinidad and Tobago. Caribbean dreams are all about to unfold.
All Caribbean wave the flag. All Caribbean wave the flag. On the track we coming. In the pool we coming. On the field we coming. To bring home the goal. Let the story unfold.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Igniting passion. Fueling dreams.
Witness the strength, witness the heart.
And the Caribbean team. In the lane, on the field. Yeah, the whole Caribbean scream. Remember 2025.
We're living it.
Igniting passion.
Fantastic. It's 1 day away from the Caribbean Games, Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, and I'm so excited. It's Thursday the 17th April, and we're getting ready to host the Caribbean Games in Trinidad and Tobago at the Hazy Crawford Stadium. And not forgetting the Summers as well, down there at the National Aquatic Center. But today we're going to be talking to Jehu Gordon, General Secretary of the AMPLIA, and we're talking track and field this morning because they have selected a contingent of 97 in total, 78 athletes and 19 members of staff to, of course, defend our title or defend or to represent on home soil, if you want to put it that way. I'm going to talk a bit to Jehu Gordon this morning and about that team selected and our chances of topping the medal charts, because you know over the years Jamaica. And I want to bring in Jehu one time as we get ready to represent red, white, and black. So Jehu, good morning.
Hey Marcus, thank you very much for having me. A blessed morning to you and to all your listeners.
Fantastic. Good morning to you again, Jehu. Jehu, 1 day away from the opening ceremony of the Caribbean Games, the 52nd Caribbean Games, and it's going to be held in Trinidad and Tobago. How proud are you that we're going to be hosting this event, I believe, for the third time in the history of the Games?
Listen, anybody that wears the red, white, and black on their hat, it will be a very, very proud and patriotic moment. And I am very excited. We have a lot of firsts this year at the Caribbean Games. We are having a mascot at the Caribbean Games. We have OC, the Ocelot, at the Caribbean this year. And I'm really looking forward to welcoming all 28 countries, all 27 countries to the shores of both Trinidad and Tobago.
Jehu, as I mentioned earlier there, 78 athletes, 97 in total, Team Trinidad and Tobago. How easy or how hard it was to put together a team that we can be very proud of here in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, this year was actually a lot easier. We have had a lot of persons attaining the Caribbean standard this year, which made the selection process. I'm not part of the selection team, but obviously it would come to the board to be vetted for final ratification. But it was a lot easier. I know a lot of persons would be like, we are at home, we need to fill all the events. Why are we not seeing everyone in every single event? But by the way, there is a quota in terms of the number of athletes that are able to represent at each Caribbean Games, and that quota is 80. How you decide to rotate that quota, that will be based on your contingent. But Trinidad is fielding 78 persons, which just says we missed the quota by 2. So almost a full contingent.
Right.
We know we did not have some access this year to the facilities, which made 1 or 2 events a bit our challenge to select. But hopefully moving forward, we should be able to field persons in events like the pole vaults and events that are underpopulated at this point in time.
Yeah, I know this question I'm going to ask, as the secretary of the entries, you're going to tell me all of the athletes. But, in terms of who you have seen for the season, tell the public who we can be, who can we expect to really come out and shine brightly? Who are some of the bright prospects that we can look forward to on the track? and in the field as well?
Yeah, we have too many athletes to call. But obviously, our most outstanding athlete is Jenny DeGans.
Yes.
She is our returning Austin Silly winner last year, breaking the Carifta Games record in the women's under 20 long jump. She's one of our returning stars for the game. She was the team captain also last year. We have young Kadeem Chinapu, who is taking charge in the men's 100 in his first year under 20 after attaining silver in the 100 in the boys under 17 and gold, going famous and trending on social media for calling the Jamaican soft.
Yes.
Right. We have the Sinai and Sole twin sisters, Tyreek and Tanique Vincent. They're calling them the Invincibles here. They're at such a young age, they're able to do every event in the multis. We have a great crop of young athletes coming along the way. We would know, obviously, our senior stars, Keyshawn, Jerry, Michele, etc. But now is really the juniors' time to shine. Yeah. And I am guaranteeing you would definitely see a great and exciting performance from Team Trinidad and Tobago.
I mean, Jehu, world champion in 400 meter hurdles, right? Any expectations there in terms of a young Jehu Gordon?
We are not at that level yet with regards to the 400 hurdles. It is still one of those events that, persons, they don't have the resource to coach. Obviously, I have taken a different route. I do involve myself in some coaching at the University of the West Indies, but again, it takes a different mindset to be a hurdler. You need some form of loose screw as your measure, and it is not everyone that will want to jump over something or get over a barrier that could inflict some type of injury or pain.
Yeah.
So as of now, we have young Jenna Marie Thomas, who got the bronze in the girls under 17 last year. In the boys under 17, we have a World Junior semi-finalist in Shane West. He's based out in the UK. He's returning. And we have some other up and young coming hurdlers, but it will take some time to maneuver through the event. But the hurdles is one of those events that it really takes experience, it takes maturity. So once they get started at such a young age, it would just be a matter of time before they develop into the full potential that they would require for the hurdles.
Fantastic. Jehu, Trinidad and Tobago, we finished third on the medal count last year in Grenada. Jamaica, a total of 83 medals. They topped the charts. Then Bahamas at 34 and Trinidad and Tobago at 27. 4 gold, 11 silver and 12 bronze. With a contingent of 78, how are we looking this year to get on top of the table and beat the Jamaicans at home?
Listen, I've been managing the team for the last 2 years. I went to Bahamas and then I went to Grenada last year. And we've had an upward trend in the last 2 years.
Yes.
I couldn't have asked for a better manager in Miss QK Melville.
Yeah, big
right?
up QK.
And her support staff. No, QK is somebody that we have earmarked for the future. Yeah. She's young, she's vibrant, she connects with the youth. She's disciplined, she's enthusiastic, she has the passion and the zeal. She is from the shores of Tobago. She is also a board member. And I look forward to the great things that her team has in store. And I'm pretty confident at this point in time, and I'll put it out there, that this year will be one of the better years that Trinidad and Tobago has performed in terms of medals at a Carifta Games.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to that because I'm going to be there. All of Tobago, we're going to be coming down there and supporting, of course, Trinidad and Tobago. In terms of getting spectators to the facility for the 3 days, how is that going so far in terms of ticket sales? Where can persons purchase tickets, and in terms of merchandise as well? Tell me about merchandise, because some persons still asking where they can get some jerseys, flags, and all these different things, if you can.
Yeah, well, we'll start off with the ticketing.
Yes.
All right. We have launched an online ticketing platform through Suntix, which we would like to promote more sales for tickets through that website. It gives persons from all spectrums the ability to get tickets easily, just from in the palm of their hand, sitting on their couch, watching TVs, etc. We know it's not everybody will be able to go to the physical tickets, but there are so many intricacies with the physical tickets. We printed limited physical tickets that will be available at all Kenny's nationwide, and also at the entry secretariat in Atobolan Stadium, Couva. But all of our online tickets are available at www.naatt.org. That is our website. Once you go onto that website, you click the Carifta page, and there you'll see all the tickets that are available. I know as of now, all of our weekend pass finish line tickets are almost sold out.
Wow.
It is not to say you can't get individual day passes, but I know the weekend passes are already sold, with a couple probably in store and at the secretariat available for sale.
Oh, wow. And in terms of at the venue, can persons show up at the venue and buy tickets on the day itself?
So there will be limited tickets available. There's a lot of logistics in place. Once you're having cash, you have to provide security, all these different things. So given that we're trying to manage costs, it is just one of the ways that we are trying to promote purchasing tickets before you come to the venue.
Right. Yeah,
but no one should be turned back once they come to the venue, though, because we want as many supporters as possible. But we are employing fans, we are employing supporters. Come out in your numbers, purchase your tickets before. Don't wait till last minute, because most of the hot seats are already taken up.
Yeah.
I know Bahamas for sure, they brought in a plane of just about 250 persons alone, just for spectators. So that is just to show you how serious some persons take it. Do not wait until last minute. We talk about being patriotic. We talk about supporting sports. How many of us are talking the talk and not walking the walk? So, Tobagonians, I know some people might find it hard to fly over to Trinidad. I know the bridge, the complaints that we hear sometimes. But listen, I'm sure most of you who are coming would have already bought your ticket, booked your hotel, put transportation in place, and it's wine and jam come Friday, the 18th, for the opening ceremony to kickstart all the competition on the 19th to the 21st. This is going to be big. It is going to be spectacular. We need all the support that we can get. Our young athletes here are facing a challenge from 27 countries who believe they are better, who believe they are bigger, and it is our time to shine. So we are calling on the 12th man, which is Team Trinidad and Tobago. Come out in your numbers, bring your friends, bring your families. The tickets are reasonably priced. If you cannot afford a regular weekend pass, the uncovered stands are just $20. Children under 13 are free in the uncovered section. And we have other regular covered stands passes, which are $50, and premium finish line tickets are $100.
Fantastic. I mean, this would have been a really good note to end the interview, but I have a couple more questions to ask in terms of the merchandise, because I want to get into the facility and I want to look patriotic, red, white, and black, similar to what you have one day and what I have one as well. Where can persons get merchandise to come and support the team? Can they get it at the facility, or is there a particular place in Trinidad and Tobago we can go and get the merchandise to support team TTO?
All we are asking persons to wear is just wear red, wear white, wear black. Those are our national colors. So unfortunately, Puma is our sponsor. For the games, we cannot sell these products. And it is really limited. It is limited. We've tried, we've asked, we've tried different routes to get some of the clothing. Everybody requests our clothing. But it is very difficult to sell at this point in time. And it's mainly only for the athletes and team officials, outside of the way that was provided for the volunteers and technical officials.
Right. And teams already in the country?
Yeah, teams will start to flock in from tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes, teams will be coming in from tomorrow.
Yeah, and just before you go, Jehu, in terms of the opening ceremony, I've seen where it is said in the media that it's going to be free to members of the public. I mean, what can we expect in that opening ceremony?
Listen, we expecting a great show of our culture. There's going to be mass like that in the stadium. There's a jamboree, literally. So there's a production team there's going to be singing. There's going to be bands, performances, live performances. It's basically an entire production. Obviously, it's a great time to show our culture to the entire world. Everybody know what Trinidad and Tobago stands for here as a people. This Carifta Games is about youth, so we are also going to be showcasing a lot of youth at this opening ceremony, because the Carifta Games is really about the youth, the future of tomorrow.
Yeah, and what time does it start?
The opening ceremony starts at 3 p.m. and finishes at 5.
Yeah, and in terms of the 3 days of events, there's a morning and an evening session.
Yeah. So the morning session starts every day at 9 a.m. and it finishes by 12 p.m., 12:15, some days thereabout.
Yeah.
The afternoon session starts 4 p.m. on Saturday and finishes at 7. It starts at 4 and finishes at 9:15 on the Sunday. And then on the Monday, it starts just about 3 or thereafter and finishes at 8:30 for the closing ceremony.
Yeah, and an important point to note, once you attend the morning session, you have to clear the facility when the first session is finished to get back into the afternoon session. I think that's what I encountered when I went to Bahamas. You can't stay in for both the morning and afternoon. You have to come out and go back in. Is that going to be the same arrangement in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, the good thing about this is the fact that we are allowing persons one ticket per day. Right? So it means when you scan your ticket for the morning, you can't leave, and you're also allowed a re-entry on the ticket. It's not mandatory that persons have to go home after the event. We are trying to see if we have a little character market. It is still taking place and yet to be decided, but the aim is to have a designated market at the Gene Beer Complex so that once the session breaks, persons can go right there. So they spend an hour or two and then head back to the stadium for the afternoon session.
That's fantastic. And Jehu, finally, in terms of the management, I know we have a couple new faces. I saw Kelsey Toussaint Reed, she's in the mix as well. Alan Morrison been there for some years. Let's tell me a bit about the coaching aspect of it and the management team.
As I mentioned before, Miss Kuki Melville is a boss. It's as simple as it. She has what it takes. She's a commander. She's a leader. And I look forward to the great things. We have young Kelsey Toussaint Reed. She might have a little age in number, but she's youthful in spirit. And these are the people that we need to help charge our team, to help charge Trinidad and Tobago. The youth is all about energy, and we need people with energy and environment. We have Alan Morrison, we have Kern Tom. Those are just some of the names from Tobago that I mentioned that are highlighted. And I just want to say congratulations to these guys. They are part of our success, and we look forward to the great things that are in store.
Yeah, fantastic, Jehu. I want to thank you so much for taking time off from your very busy schedule to be here on Tobago Updates to share the word, because we here in Tobago are very excited. I'm very excited to come along and support Team TTO. All of Trinidad and Tobago, I encourage them to go out and support the team as well. And of course,
Marcus, before I go, somebody tell me you book your tickets since last year when you hear the games in Trinidad. That's true.
Of course, because we have a challenge with the air bridge and the sea bridge, so I booked my ticket very early to get down there and support from the opening ceremony right to the end of the track and field event. I also want to take in some of the swimming as well, because it's happening down at the aquatic center. So it's going to be a festive weekend in Trinidad and Tobago, a sporting weekend, starting from tomorrow, Friday, with the opening ceremony. And I expect all of Trinidad and Tobago to go out there and support Team TTO. So thank you so much, Jehu. And of course, all the best to you and Team TTO.
The celebration of the year is here. We invite you to join us on Easter Monday, April the 21st at the Vibes Event Space, formerly known as the Shade Nightclub Tobago, for Black Culture Sound Anniversary Party. Doors open from sundown. Free entry before midnight. Me, I tell you, a night of high energy, music, culture, and non-stop vibes. So ladies, gather your teams. Man them for roll up in the vibes. Look out for live performance by God Night, Friends Job, Shubi. Plus, look out for a surprise soca artist. Also, a surprise reggae artist. So me I tell you massive, it's gonna be non-stop energy with DJs like 45 Assassin, DJ Dareem, Active Hype, Kingston and Flambo, Main Squeeze, Cybernetic Sound, King Legal and Country Boy Sound, DJ Longboy, DJ Matt party, Mr. Fearless, Phonics International, Article Fire from Silvercat Sound Station, and a surprise brethren coming up from Trinidad. Hey, this is a party you definitely can't miss. Black Culture's anniversary. Be there.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. Of course, today is 17th of April, and we are talking Carifta Games. We just had Jehu Gordon talking about all the good things to expect this coming weekend, sporting weekend. Team Trinidad and Tobago getting ready to battle against 27 other countries right here in Trinidad and Tobago at the H.C. Crawford Stadium. And I'm joined now by QK Melville. QK Melville, the manager of Team TTO. Good morning, QK Melville.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be online this morning.
Yes, good morning. And let me first say congratulations. Let me first say congratulations to you on being appointed manager of Team TTO. And I mean, how does it feel being a former athlete and now you are now managing the future generation of track and field in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, it's an honor. I feel very ecstatic, moving from being an athlete and moving to the field of actually being in the administration. It's an honor and a privilege. For me, I had the opportunity last year to be the assistant director to Jehu. And this year, based on performances, I would have graduated this year to leading the biggest team that Trinidad has had in history. So I feel elated. I am honored. I'm honored.
Fantastic. And QK, I mean, what's precisely your role going to be as manager of the team?
Okay, so as manager of the team, I have the overall privilege of managing the logistics, coordinating travel arrangements, training arrangements, dealing with the coaches. So I am like the liaison between the coaches, the athletes, the medical team, so it's just an overall process. And I must say it's a really tedious one, and especially during this short period. I was assigned assistant manager as well to help with the load, and they have been doing an exceptional job thus far. We have our coach, our head coach as well, and the rest of the team. So everyone is chipping in, working as a team, but generally overall, I have to ensure that everything is in place. We have to ensure that we dot our T's, we dot our I's, bringing in our international athletes, bringing our athletes from Tobago. It's a lot to be coordinated within this next few days. So, but I am up for the challenge always.
Yeah, and as Jehu mentioned, I mean, he has a lot of faith in QK Melville because QK Melville is a professional and she'll get the job done. And as you mentioned, your team there, QK, we have had a situation now. I'm talking about Tobago here, right? We're not forgetting the Trinidad and Tobago team, but I'm talking about Tobago specific here. In the team of 78, we have a total of 21 Tobagonians in that team, and that's athletes. And then we have a total of 4 Tobagonians in terms of the management. What has caused that shift in terms of representation out of Tobago? Yes, it's Trinidad and Tobago, but we in Tobago, we are very proud to have Tobagonians representing Trinidad and Tobago. And as a Tobagonian yourself, I mean, you must be proud to have a number of Tobagonians in this squad as well.
Definitely. So my recollection, that is not the biggest group coming out of Tobago. Some years ago, we would have had, I think, about 23 person coming out of Tobago. But to have this amount this year, it still speaks volume to a lot of work that Tobago is putting in. And we face a lot of challenges in Tobago when it comes to the use of the stadium. Most of our athletes train on the grass track, so to overcome those challenges and those hurdles and have 21 persons make it to the team, that speaks a lot to the level of character our athletes in Tobago have, that they put in. So it speaks a lot to that. So just imagine if our athletes have the right resources in terms of the venues, etc., what we could do, the damages that we could do for Trinidad and Tobago. So.
And as I asked Jehu, right, as I mentioned that we finished third last year on the table behind Jamaica and Bahamas. Confident this year we're going to take it in terms of the most medals achieved by a team this year. You think you can do this year?
Well, I must say we have to be realistic. Yeah. We have to be realistic. But nonetheless, I am expecting big things from Team TTO. I mean, we've had the history of 40 medals back in 2010, and that was when Jehu was on that team. I mean, he would have achieved two character records during that year, and they scored, I think, about 12 goals they would have achieved that year. But in being realistic, I think we have the potential to be in the top two. Yeah. Once we go out there, we just have to remain focused. We have to understand what we are out there for. As I tell the athletes every day when we meet up, you made the team. Now what? What is the next step? And I'm a visionary, so you have to envision yourself going out there and being on that podium. So that's what we try to push to them every day, while ensuring they enjoy themselves and have a great time. Because if you take it too seriously, sometimes it can really affect your mental and affect your performances. But so we're trying to make sure that at the end of the day, they still go out there, they perform, and they have fun. So we expect great things, as I said, and we are hoping and looking forward to placing in the top two.
Yeah. What's the word on the gong like? What's the mood on the gong? What are you hearing? Are you hearing that it's going to be a ram-out stadium for the 3 days we're going to host the games at the Hazel Crawford Stadium? Are you getting that vibe?
Yes. Well, the vibes I'm getting, my understanding is that the covered stand has been sold out. That is my understanding, especially the section with where the 100 meter is. Everyone wants to be at that end to see those special races, So that has been sold out. Regarding the uncovered stands, I must say we have tickets going for as low as $20. We have athletes or young primary school children, they are free. So we are optimistic that, persons will take the opportunity over the weekend to come up and show for athletes. We know we have a lot of competing events taking place over the weekend, but track and field, we have a strong support base, and we are optimistic that the stadium will be filled to some capacity, I must say. We are optimistic for that.
Yeah, and before I'll let you go, QK, I mean, just tell me how important are these games for all our athletes? I mean, in terms of their careers, because the likes of Usain Bolt and others would have come through the character games. Let's tell me how important it is for every single athlete to go out there and represent.
Sorry, I missed that. My background, I missed it. Could you repeat?
Yes, as I was saying, how important are these games for all the athletes selected? Because this is like, what do you say, boy? The pinnacle in terms of junior athletics in the region. The likes of Usain Bolt and Asafa Powell and all these athletes would have passed through, including yourself and Jehu Gordon. How important are these games for these youngsters? Even with the so-called limited preparation, it's an opportunity for them, I believe, to go out there and perform. In terms of you, how do you believe that these athletes should take these games and how important it is for them?
Well, I must say the character game is a stepping stone into something greater, into something bigger. As you rightfully pointed out, a lot of those athletes who went on to medal and be at the world stage, they passed through the character games. We have Kelly and Batiste, we have Josa and Lucas, we have our very own Jareen Richards, Hugh Gordon. All of those athletes passed through the character games, and that was a stepping stone for them. And if you have to hear Jareem or Jehu's story, when they started off in character, they didn't start off as the best, but it allowed them to understand what is expected from them when they go at a regional and international level. And with that shifted their mindset, that going into that games now, they could have positioned themselves to win medals. And from there, take it to the world stage. So it is a very important pinnacle for our athletes. This is something that they shouldn't take lightly whatsoever. It allows you the opportunity to go out there, compete with, as you rightfully say, 27 different countries. You know, you have the opportunity to measure yourself up with the world. So that is something that we will always encourage our athletes to push for. And from there, you push beyond that.
Fantastic. QK, I want to thank you so much for being here this morning with us on Tobago Updates Television. I think all of Tobago seeing your face, they are very proud of you. And they expect great things from yourself and Team TTO. To all the other Tobagonians, Colin Tom, Alan Morrison, Kelsey Toussaint, Reed, I want to say congratulations to them as well. And to Team TTO, every single person represented or selected to represent, let's go down and do your best. All of Trinidad and Tobago, they're going to be there, roaring and supporting and cheering you guys on to beat Jamaica. We're beating Jamaica. We're beating Jamaica.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
We're beating Jamaica. So I want to thank you so much. Any final words before you go?
Yes, I'm looking forward to first having you there. I'm sure, based on what I've been seeing on Facebook, the work that you have been putting in, as I said, you need to be paid for that work that you have been putting in to support Team TTO and to support the character games. I really appreciate that. I really look forward to the persons coming out to support our athletes. I mean, it's not just about staying behind the keyboard and typing. You know, they need your support. For me, I could have recalled being in front of the home crowd and having the opportunity to present myself, and that allowed me to do my best and win a medal, you know. So having you all there will mean a lot to our athletes. So we look forward to that support from everyone, and we trust that you show up and you show out.
Fantastic. Have a wonderful day, QK. Thank you so much once again for being here. And of course, I'm going to see you guys over the weekend. So viewers, we've been chatting there with QK Melville, the manager, a newly minted manager of the Trinidad and Tobago Character Games Team 2025. And I'm expecting really good, big things here from QK and the team TTO. Guys, thank you so much for being here this morning, the sport on a Thursday. We're getting ready for a wonderful weekend, a bumper weekend in sports, and so many other things happening. But ensure, whatever you're doing, you have fun and be safe. We're going to take a short break and return again. But don't forget, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Chatting there with QK Melville. I want to thank her so much for being on this morning. Character Games sounding really nice. Also thanks so much to Jehu Gordon for joining us earlier and talking about how prepared are we as a country to defend, not to defend, but to represent Team TTO. Starting from tomorrow with the opening ceremony, and then on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Not forgetting the swimming on Tuesday and Wednesday down there at the National Aquatic Center. I want to thank the guys so much. I want to wish all members of staff all the best, all the athletes. But big up to the Tobago guys in the mix, Colin Tom and Alan Morrison, Kelsey Toussaint, Reed, part of the management team, and all 22 Tobago athletes selected in the squad of 78. I'm really excited, expecting to have a really good time down there at the Hazy Crawford Stadium, and I'm expecting all of Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, let us ensure that we have a massive turnout to represent for Team TTO. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned to this sporting morning on a Thursday. It's a holiday on tomorrow, and whatever you are doing over the weekend, ensure that you have a good time and be safe. And see you guys come next week. But for now, I'm going to hand you guys over to Candice for Good Morning Tobago. But don't forget to share the live, share the live, share the live.
So today, as we converge here at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex to culminate the commemoration of Global Money Week through our Smart Sense Video Challenge prize-giving ceremony, we recognize the importance of financial literacy in shaping a secure and successful future.
I feel heartened, excited, and I'm indeed happy. Because when I looked at the goal of Global Money Week, the goal really is to ensure that all children and young people have access to high quality financial information and education that allows them to make smart financial decisions that can improve their future financial resilience and financial well-being. Today, I'm also heartened to see the students that are represented here today, that we are able to hone the skills that you have embedded inside of you. And from what I've heard, I'm indeed proud, and I feel a sense of accomplishment that with financial literacy and the mandate that we have here in the division, that we are able to bear this kind of fruit and see these kinds of results.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candice Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. The PNM released its manifesto pledging a bold new chapter in the nation's development with less than 2 weeks ahead of the 2025 general election. Prime Minister Stuart Young highlighted 6 strategic priorities focused on modern governance, safety, and public and economic growth. Key initiatives include creating a Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency to improve public service delivery and transparency, digitizing government operations, and decentralizing services. On security, the plan emphasizes tech-driven policing and elite units. The manifesto also outlines strategies to diversify the economy in response to global shifts and evolving external challenges. In other news, Senior Superintendent Earl Eli of the TTPS Tobago Division is urging political leaders and supporters to maintain peace during the election season, reminding them that there is life after elections. While no formal meeting has been held, police are in contact with individual parties to plan security. Eli confirmed officers remain prepared and are engaging with key party influencers. He stressed the need for unity and respect, noting the recent talks focused on coordinated motorcade schedules to ensure safety and effective police support throughout the campaign. And finally, the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association has urged the government officials to address 4 pressing issues in the island's tourism sector. They seek restructuring of Tobago Tourism Agency, repeal of the restrictive foreign investment laws, and a review of the Foreign Direct Investment Act. The association also calls for access to 3% of room tax for destination marketing and an airlift growth plan tied to the new airport terminal. With elections approaching, the association noted the need for political parties to share their tourism plans and expressed readiness to collaborate with stakeholders. And that was the news in 90 seconds. And viewers, just before we get into our program this morning, I just would like to send our condolences out to the family of our friend and colleague here in the media space of Mr. Leandro Nore, who really was dear to us and was so influential within our space. And we certainly love and miss him. And of course, his family and his friends, want to send them our condolences, because I know this time it's not easy for them. But yes, it's just from us. So Leandro, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for all that you've been with us throughout the years. Thank you for all the encouragement and the tips and everything. You were just absolutely amazing. And we were happy to know you. So rest in peace, Leandro. And getting straight on into our show this morning, my first guest is that of Mr. Reginald McLean, and he is the new president of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association. And he has come in with a bit of a bang, because there is a lot going on within our tourism space, and there's a lot that needs to be fixed. And Mr. McLean is here and ready to see if we could shake things up a bit and get tourism going, because now more than ever, we need to see our tourism industry grow. Now, as you heard from our news in 90 seconds, they have put out a statement asking for certain things to be addressed, and we're going to get into those things. But first of all, good morning and welcome to you, Mr. McLean. How are you doing?
Good morning. Doing fine. Had a nice drive down from Speyside to Scarborough this morning.
Yes.
And looking forward to our interaction this morning here.
And of course, for viewers, as he hinted, he is, in case you don't know, he's also the manager of Blue Waters in Speyside, one of our special places in Tobago. So, getting straight on into it, you came in, the Tourism Association had an elections just about a week ago.
Correct.
And you have come in requesting certain things straight off the bat. And one thing that was interesting is that you noted that the political parties that are in the thralls of elections right now and the campaigning, they're not dealing with a lot of the tourism issues that need to be dealt with.
That's correct. We have issues where right now, up to today, I have not heard anybody speak about tourism on the platform. Mm-hmm. And I may be wrong, but none of us in the association have heard that. And it's interesting, because if we're going to diversify our economy because of what's happening with gas and oil and all that, tourism really and truly is where we need to go. Tobago has it, Trinidad has it, and we're not capitalizing on it. We've heard nothing. We don't have any plans of what the government's in power plans to do, or any of the other parties. So I think that needs to end up changing and become a focal point for us, especially here in Tobago.
And there are real concerns. One of the concerns that were highlighted by the association is the need for the refinancing and restructuring of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, TTAL. Tell me about that, and why is that so important and at the top of your list, actually?
TTAL is linked with Tobago House of Assembly, and it's the marketing arm for Tobago, for the island of Tobago, to help us with destination marketing. We need a lot more collaboration between the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association and also with TTAL. we are the ones that should be the driving force behind what happens in Tobago. I say we as the industry, the tourism industry, and it's a wide-ranging industry, because for every one worker you have in the hotel, it's about 3 or 4 other people that have some sort of employment because of the hotel. So if you have 40 staff, you can multiply it by 4. That's 160 people, 160 families that are directly involved. So if you can grow tourism will be the best way to make Tobago work. It works in Trinidad as well, because Trinidad has tourism. It's lovely. So our Twin Island destination, that works good. The restructuring of TTAL, we think we need to have a little bit more say with what goes on there, and assist them, because the budget for Tobago is too small for island marketing, for destination marketing as it's called. So if you give me $42 million and I have to pay staff and all sorts of things out of that, there's just not enough money for marketing. And this is where I could go into things like sandals and say that if they come in, the planes are going to come. So we need to be able to go to World Travel Market, ITB in Berlin, some of the other trade shows, and do snippets of marketing throughout the world of places where we have the planes coming from, right? So it is our honest opinion that what's happening there, and some of who are there need to sit down with us and really go through the dynamics of tourism. And we know where the markets are, because we are the ones directly marketing certain countries to get those people in our beds.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things in terms of the restructuring part of it, you mentioned that the level of collaboration is not where you would like it to be. How would you rate the level of the collaboration right now? Like, at what level is it, and what are you hoping to get up to?
Well, as you realize, I'm new back into this. I just actually came back to Tobago in July of last year. Mm-hmm. And I've already ascended to the seat of president in 9 months. So obviously some of what I've been saying and doing is starting to make people understand where we want to head. Collaboration, it's just a matter of us sitting down more often, for TTAL to listen to us, for us to help TTAL go back to central government if necessary and say, listen guys, what we are giving for Tobago for destination marketing is just not enough.
And as you
mentioned, that's a drop in a pan. I mean, you're talking $6 million US for a whole organization to market an entire island.
And as you mentioned, the money part of it, you actually propose a solution, or a part of a solution, which is hotels pay about 10% room tax.
Correct.
And you are saying that 3% of that 10% that is paid should go to TTAL specifically for marketing.
Well, not just the TTAL. We think that the association should also form part of that, because we will work in collaboration with TTAL. And you know, coincidentally, if my memory serves me right, about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, this proposal of 3% of the 10% room tax was actually passed in Parliament. So it's something that we have to go back in the archives and really pull it out and find out what happened to it, why it died. Where does our room tax go? Our room tax goes in the consolidated fund of the country. Is that right? No, we're the ones producing it. When I say we, not just Tobago, but remember we have hotels and guest houses and all that in Trinidad. So if that 10% is there that goes into consolidated fund, let us take 3 of those 10%. I'm not saying 3% of the 10%. I'm saying 3 of those 10%. And let us, between TTAL and Tobago and the other agency in Trinidad and the 2 tourism the 2 hotel and tourism associations, let's all collaborate, come up with a plan, and use that fund to do what we have to do for the destination. Now, we could go a little step further and say we want the last 10 or 11 or 12 years that was agreed to
back taxes.
Back. Because, you know, in this country, we like to back tax thing down. I wouldn't go into that, but so if we can get that, you would be amazed at what could happen in this country, right? Both islands, for tourism because we could put ourselves on the map. Now, there's other angles to that, and I mentioned briefly about Sandals just now. They bring the airlift. Without airlift, we can't do anything. So at the end of the day, if we can get promotional support and improve our operational effectiveness and destination visibility, all of a sudden you're going to see hotel occupancy, guest house occupancy, bed and breakfast, everybody's going to benefit from it.
And then another thing that you mentioned, because I just want to get through your list as
Yeah.
well, is the repeal of the Foreign Investment Act. Now, I have been hearing about this call since perhaps 2011, 2012 there. That has been a call that's been made by the private sector in Tobago because, as we know, the current law makes it a little bit difficult. Not impossible, but difficult and discouraging to foreign investors to come in. And without foreign investors, we don't have much in the way of a triggering of the economy in any kind of way. We don't have the capital to invest in a way that a lot of people say that we need to invest and so on. So we need the foreign direct investors. But the law as it is does not work for us.
Right. So I think the law came in 2007. And if you look back at the statistics for Tobago, for example, you would see just around that time or just after that, we took a major dip in tourism. Things started to slide. And it got worse and worse and worse and worse. And I think we've gone from a maximum of about 85,000 tourists a year down to, I believe, about 60 now, somewhere in that region. So is that attributed to the Foreign Investment Act? Possibly. Is that attributed to foreigners not being able to purchase a property under a certain size? There's all sorts of different things in there. So we want to sit down and have a discussion with the government, whether it's the current government here or whoever comes in on the 28th of April, and sit down and see where the blockages are, how we can change it, and let that discussion lead to going back to Parliament to make the necessary changes to allow people to come in and bring their foreign money into the country. A lot of islands and other countries have said, we're going to give you citizenship for investment. We don't have to go that route because we've seen some islands have that problem.
And the corruption that is associated with it.
So again, sit down with us. Let's come up with a plan. Let's see how we're going to work it out, right? I'm not saying we know it all. We don't. But at the end of the day, if we sit down and we work it out, it's going to change, and it's going to change for the positive.
And of course, the airlift plan, that airlift growth plan for Tobago, because we heard the airport terminal opening, we saw everybody that was there speaking about all these airlines that are coming in to the country, but not necessarily to Tobago, because there was mention from the Minister of Finance that we're going to get links with Hong Kong, Argentina, and a few other places. But we have not heard, even with all the celebration of the new terminal, we have not heard anything about airlift specifically for Tobago.
Right. So I'll start by saying something that people are probably not going to appreciate me saying. I think the association was snubbed at that opening of the airport. Our then President Alpha Lord from Mount Irvin was not even asked to say a word. And I looked at the opening of that airport terminal as something that could have brought people together in tourism. And it could have been a new shine on Tobago to make Tobago move forward positively. I wouldn't go into the other political part of it, but it's one of those things that respect is due. You're going to have something opening in Tobago. I think it has to happen where people who are involved in tourism in Tobago need to be part of it. So we've just spent close to $1 billion on this airport terminal. And from what I have heard, it can accommodate up to 3 million people. But we have 60,000 people coming in the island. So there's you're hearing things, the math's not mathsing, right? You have that. You have a lot of airlines going into Trinidad, and those airlines don't charge people of Tobago any money, any people of Trinidad any money to bring those airlines in. In Tobago, we have to guarantee the seats. Is that right? No, it's not. Why can't we be afforded the same that Trinidad is afforded and get the airlines to come in here and help us fix our tourism? Right? So again, we have to take politics out of Tobago and really get Tobago to function properly and get the airlift coming in.
And Caribbean Airlines is supposed to be our partner. And I know one of the things that the association has said over the years, because even if we may not get specific airlines to Tobago, but they're coming to Trinidad, so why not have a desk in the arrivals terminal to sort of link passengers from that arrive on some of the major airlines to Tobago, make the transition easier. But I mean, of course, those things have fallen on deaf ears over the years. How are you going to invigorate the conversation? How are you going to advocate so that those things that we need and the support that we need from CAL changes?
All right. Firstly, I'll tell you that since COVID, the number of domestic flights that we had have not come back. So we are still short on the number of flights. Secondly, I'll tell you that every time Caribbean Airlines has an issue where it needs a bailout, that money comes out of the coffers of the government, which come out of the taxpayers. All the other destinations in the Caribbean benefit from Caribbean Airlines. And Tobago does to a certain degree. But if we are going to be the ones constantly bailing out the airline, why don't we concentrate on giving Tobago what Tobago needs? Right? If it comes down to the point that there's a problem with the air bridge with the subsidy, well, maybe let's have a conversation again and make a change. Do we need to subsidize every single flight coming out of Trinidad? Maybe take 1 or 2 or 3 flights and have those subsidized for the elderly, for the emergencies, for the various things at certain times of the day. Raise the flights, the cost of the flights. But again, this is a political football. Now it's politics. So in this season, we need to look at that before the 28th of April. So if it is that it costs $600 to travel between Trinidad and Tobago round trip, well, then let's make it $600. We have a subsidized ferry service that is heavily subsidized. Why can't people travel on that? I mean, I travel on it every time I go to Trinidad. I hop on with my vehicle, I drive to Trinidad. I rarely ever use the air bridge. The other problems with the air bridge, I can make 3 bookings for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I'm not sure what days I want to come up with my family from Trinidad. And I decide on Thursday. I go to try and cancel Wednesday and Friday, and I can't. So those, my family, 5 of us, that's 10 seats that remain booked in the system that are not booked. And Cal will turn around and tell me, but it's easy to cancel. Sorry, we've tried canceling flights, and we can't. So there are issues with that. You have other problems at Caribbean Airlines where it's $50 TT to reinstate a ticket. So if I don't travel today, my only penalty is $50. If I didn't cancel, that ticket should be worth $0. And if I didn't cancel within 48 hours, maybe that's what we need to do. So you start getting people to realize there's a consequence to not traveling.
Right.
And every other airline does it in every other destination.
But
so why should we be different?
And then, of course, the making the cancel tickets back into the system available for those that need to travel.
Correct. So it's a double-pronged sword.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I decided I was going to Trinidad today and fly back this afternoon, and I said, you know, I just can't do it anymore. It's too late for me to cancel. That ticket should now be worth $0, not $50 to reinstate it. And that is the reality of it. Make people start understanding that there's a consequence to what you're doing with travel, and it's deterring other people from traveling. And this goes for both ways, and not just from Trinidad to Tobago. But we also have to ensure when a plane drops down in Trinidad that we know tourists are coming on, that we have a reciprocating flight back to to Tobago that can make the connection. If I'm coming to Trinidad to come to Tobago, I don't want to have to overnight in Trinidad. I want to make it a smooth transition, come straight through. So what you just spoke to about a desk or something that you could go to, that would be perfect. However, if I come in on a 10 o'clock flight into Trinidad, I'm not making a connection to Tobago.
No.
So we need to make it as seamless as possible. It can be done, but it's up to, again, the authorities,
And
the
the
airports
political will.
authority, the government, CAL, the two hotel and tourism associations to sit together and come up with a solution. And I think it can really positively impact Tobago, and we get back to 100,000+ tourists coming in right away.
Hmm.
Easter right now is a problem.
Yes, and I'm going to get to that. I mean, that was the next point I was going to get to. The fact that to this year, Easter has been bad. I mean, this whole winter season has been bad for visitors to Tobago, and that has a lot to do with the SOE.
Correct.
We heard that a lot, that the idea of the SOE actually discouraged a lot of the visitors that were planning on coming.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the SOE. The SOE, when it was announced on the 30th of December, everybody went, what? We were expecting something to happen, but to plump a SOE at the start of your winter season, which is your high season for tourists, which not just for Trinidad, and it's also Tobago, big and bold with that. You have tourist arrivals, tourists coming in, knowing that there's a SOE. So within 3 days of the announcement of that, all of a sudden the cancellations started to come in. Tobago House of Assembly, through the Division of Tourism, put out a statement. The Hotel and Tourism Association here in Tobago put out a statement. So what we did is we took those two statements and we made our own statement after speaking with Early Lai, who's our senior superintendent here, and speaking with Mr. Sebro, who is our Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Tobago as well. And we, right away, we went to find out where we stand. And the feedback we got from the police was that Tobago should even be safer. But the stigma of a state of emergency has its consequences. So where we were able to turn around a few of the cancellations and the people came, we lost a lot. Now there's another pressing issue, and most people take out travel insurance. So you're coming to a foreign destination. So it's somewhere around 8 out of 10 people that take out travel insurance when they're traveling. So if you're coming to a country with a SOE, you can't get it. So potentially you've just lost 80% of your bookings that you could get. So you're starting right away with a negative. And then some people, like I was talking to a guest last night at the hotel, and he said, I never told my wife that Trinidad and Tobago had a SOE. Until she got here.
Otherwise, she would not have, come.
Right. And that is now. I said, well, yeah, it finished on the 13th. And again, how much press have you seen about the SOE being ended? But it's not just the SOE. Look at what happens when countries all over the world put out guidelines on Trinidad and Tobago, travel guidelines. The US right now has a do not travel. The UK has a do not travel. Right? Canada has, I don't think it's a do not, but Canada has different cautious. And different parts of Europe and all of these. So all of these things affect tourism. So it was not good. It still isn't good. The high season where you're supposed to make the money to keep you going for the year, you're just barely breaking even.
And then coming down to Easter, which is the biggest weekend of the year in Tobago, that's not doing so well because there's another complication.
Right, and that complication is you've thrown I can't remember the name of it, the music festival that's happening, right?
Rhythm and Soul.
Rhythm and Soul. So why take rhythm and soul and put it into Easter? Easter is a time in Tobago where families are coming over and Tobago is full. We don't really even have to market Tobago to get Tobago full for Easter. But you've put a rhythm and soul festival in, which is great, but it should have been 2 weeks from now, and create another boom for Tobago, another big booking period. So what that did is it diluted the already scarce flights, and it diluted what you could do on the ferry. right now you can't get a booking to come to Tobago.
What's the level of occupancy for the weekend?
Obviously, on the west of Tobago right now, the occupancy is a lot better, and some hotels are going to be 80 and 90%. On the east of the island, where Manta Lodge, Blue Waters, Manta Suites, and a lot of the smaller establishments, very bad, right? Right now, we are currently about 68%, and believe it or not, we drop off Saturday down to about 35%, because of what's happening on the western end of the island. So, as we're speaking about festivals, we have the Blue Food Festival coming up in October. That's on a Sunday. Carnival starts on the Friday. And the weekend after that is a long weekend. So again, choice of weekends to put Carnival is wrong. So we need to sit down with the festivals committee. I think we have that in our thing here. And really work with them and say, guys, this can't work. Why are we trying to dilute something that is already a popular activity in Tobago by putting something else at the same time? Think about it. Tobago's long weekend goes a little longer because of the goat races and all of that in Buko and the crab racing. So you know Easter is good. Let's put something somewhere else. And I think jazz was supposed to be at Easter as well. Or no, jazz was at the end of the month.
An extension of Easter.
Right.
So
and elections made jazz move.
Yeah. Well, politics made jazz move, I would say.
So again, it's collaboration between all the various organizations to make it work. But not only that, every year you have a busy period in certain areas. And Cal waits too long to put on flights, extra flights, right? And by the time Cal puts on the extra flights, people have gone to Barbados or Grenada or Miami.
Because you could book it in an instant.
Correct. And I'm going to get to something else there, as I mentioned that. Intra-regional travel in the Caribbean right now. It's cheaper for me to go to Miami or New York than to go to Barbados or Grenada or St. Vincent or these islands. Why? Because we have 40 to 60% taxes. And when I speak to certain people in politics, not just here in Trinidad and Tobago, but up the islands as well, they say, oh, the taxation on the plane tickets is how we look after our airports. That's shallow thinking. And I'll tell you why it's shallow thinking. Reduce the tax, more people will travel, you get more taxes, the hotels get fuller, and everybody benefits.
Yeah.
So, air linkage is a serious thing here.
And well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to cut it out there at that point. But you've raised a lot of things this morning that we need to get more into, and I'm looking forward to having more conversations with you as the time goes by, especially after the election period. So, and let's see who takes the next government, and let's see if we can get them to really work towards getting Tobago's tourism.
Well, this is why we have put this out now, because we want it on the platform. We want to know what you as a party, we are apolitical.
Yes.
We just want to know that this is what you are going to be doing for tourism, and let's try and make it work, because it needs to work. Tobago depends on tourism, Trinidad not as much, but both islands could benefit.
And the foreign investment and all of that.
Everything
is
linked.
That we need, that we're crying for. Anyways, so it's a lot to speak about, but I mean, I hope that we can continue this conversation as the time goes on. So thank you so much, Mr. McLean, for being on with us, and we're looking forward to you making some positive changes in the space.
Well, that's the intention. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, great. Viewers, we got to go for a break, but we're not done yet with GMT. We got a lot more on the program, so you don't want to miss right after this.
Morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Rise and shine at Lemonade, the breakfast party. Take it to the max. your day with a zesty twist at our lemonade breakfast party. Get ready for a morning filled with fresh flavors, great vibes, and golden sunshine. On Easter Monday morning, 21st April, from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fairways Restaurant and Lounge. Lemonade.
When breeze touch it.
What's in store at Lemonade? Signature lemonade, freshly squeezed and bursting with flavor. Breakfast bites, delicious treats to fuel your day. Good vibes and great music, because every morning deserves a rhythm with Nessa Preppy.
You say that thing they get the fire.
Your Lemonade DJ, Selector 3D and Snoopy. Mixmaster, DJ Elon, aka Pappy. Akeem 5.0 and Salty. Foreign Bass, Island Soundboy, DJ Marsh, Mighty Crush, and King K. And hosted by Major Penny. Sponsored by B-Mobile, Angostura, Penny Savers, AVT General Services, Concert Networking, Cache. Join us for the ultimate breakfast experience this Easter Monday morning from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fairways Restaurant and Lounge. Lemonade. Lemonade.
When you would have brought home gold, the entire country would have been at a standstill, reveling in this victory. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock, ladies and gents.
The first thing most Trinidadians think about is me pelting coconut.
Still? You think you could handle the pressure?
Ready. People call me Andrew, you're a miracle, Andrew, you're a champion. I say, hold on, why not you?
Ladies and gents, welcome to the playbook.
Like the rest.
Don't worry about that.
Pressure is a privilege.
You can't bring too many at the show point. Where's the tiebreaker?
There's some things that you would learn that can't be taught in a class.
Correct. Stop telling them don't run. Like, what do you mean don't run?
Easy. All sports.
All right, we're gonna make this short and real sweet.
Ready, set,
it goes a little
go.
like.
We break down the moves needed to win on and off the field.
My compa is the best.
Legendary
corn.
All right, I feel
Curry goat good too. A good beginning makes a brilliant ending.
This has been the playbook, and class is dismissed.
On April 28th, vote for the anchor. Vote the Tobago People's Party.
This is an extra flight that we have for standby passengers. All the flights have groups on them, as you will see, actually pulling up.
There are some persons who want to go on the airport at any time without any serious plans and just jump on a plane and it doesn't operate like that. It doesn't operate like that. But for us, it's not a luxury.
They're walking past you in the airport and getting the flight because ministers and yes, chief secretaries too, just get priority on the plane. But all the time they're walking past you, they ain't care to lift their voice for you so that you could get more flights. Now the power is in your hands. Don't give them 5 more years to walk past you in high heels and ignore you.
On April 28th, vote for the anchor. Vote the Tobago People's Party.
That was a paid political advertisement.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
It's a brand new morning. ever strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are chatting this morning with Aniqua, better known as Kwa, as she is one of the artists that would be on stage for the Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival. So good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, just getting into our conversation today. So you're one of the artists. Just tell me about what can we expect from you on stage.
Well, I'm a known face already to the island of Tobago. You can expect the usual choir, the vibes, the reggae music, of course. But there's one new song that I will be doing. It's called Talk Truth, and I'm really, really looking forward to letting you guys hear that. Yeah.
Right. And of course, you've been working so hard a lot over the years. And this new song, because you've done a little bit of promotion about it and given us some teasers online and so on. Tell me about just some of the inspiration behind that song and why it has become so special to you.
This song, Talk Truth, it's a very honest song. It's a very real song. Over the years of me being in music, I have encountered a lot of people, a lot of, people who say they want to help, but they are wrong just for their benefit, in a sense. So it's just real, raw and honest. And I don't want to get too much into it because,
Yeah. For certain. And, what about the Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival has attracted you to it?
Well, I've been craving a reggae show for a very, 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 very long time. So when I saw that it was a reggae cast, I was like, oh, well, yeah, for sure, we outside. When I saw the audition, I said I should go and audition because they had the artist development program as well along with it. And yes, I wanted to perform on the stage, but I also wanted the opportunity to experience that artist development program because there hasn't been anything done like that in Tobago before.
And, what else can we expect from that show?
What else can you expect? Well, there's a lot of more local artists that will be on stage, which I'm really, I must commend Festivals Commission for that. We have Shari Guerra, we have Yolanda, we have Anomaly, we have Six Strings. We just have a long lineup of Tobago artists, and I'm really proud. We were talking about Leandro before, and I know that this is something that Leandro would have been very pleased about. And in my personal growth, Leandro has been a very integral part for like me starting, because when we used to work together, I like getting the news yesterday that he passed. I remember us being on the top floor preparing for the evening show, and he was like, "You just sing?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You know how far you could reach? Hey, I have a studio. You could come. You could come. I wouldn't charge you." And that is something that really stood out to me because he has helped a lot of locals here in Tobago with their come up. And I don't think that he really got the recognition that he really deserved.
No.
So
And that was a conversation that we had a lot with him. I mean, I had a lot with him.
Yeah.
And he used to, it used to bother him at sometimes, but I was like, don't worry, Leandro, like the world would see.
Yeah.
And the thing is that because of people like yourself, and so many other artists that are here in Tobago, whether they're artists, whether they sing, play pan, whatever the case may be, he was always able to make sure that he had a hand in them being able to go out there and then for Tobago to just shine through.
Yeah, definitely. Just giving you that start, that push to say you could do this. Yeah.
So, and we are obviously grateful for him because honestly, without people like him, we can't have people like you.
Correct.
So, And I guess we're gonna see a lot of that on your stage. So so you are performing on the Sunday night?
Yes, the Sunday night. That's the fusion show featuring Stephen Marley.
What are you looking forward for that night? You know, sharing the stage with somebody like him. Well, of course, we know, first of all, it was going to be Buju, but unfortunately, you know, things changed. And now we have Stephen Marley, who is very much an icon in and of itself.
Yes. I am looking forward to that. Yes, I do. I am looking forward to actually having probably a small meet and greet, just to probably take some pictures and let him know that he's an inspiration. Mostly what I'm looking forward to is just letting the local artists shine. Because we are really, really, really grateful for the opportunity. Yeah.
And that's why Tobagonians should come out and support.
Yes,
I know a lot of people were disappointed when, you know, the news hit that Buju was no longer going to be on the schedule. But I think it was Sharon Phillips put it out there. She was like, don't let that stop you from supporting the local artists of Tobago, because it is important that local artists have that stage. It is important that they get that support. So, you know, come out and support people like Kwa, who gave us our wonderful theme song, by the way, for the Tobago Updates morning show. So, in case you didn't know, but you know, this is the iconic voice behind it. I think most of people of Tobago knows, but in case you didn't
by now.
Yes. But yeah, so you know, tell me, like I said, it's important that we come out and support our local artists.
Yeah, for sure. We are capable. You know, we have been putting in the work, and sometimes it is discouraging to know that here at home we don't get the support that we want or that we need for the push. And it's only like when we make little strides for ourselves, probably go abroad and probably sing in a subway station or just sing in a bar in a karaoke, and they want to, you know, say, hey, look, you know, she's out there. But we live here. We would really, really, really appreciate the support. So please, guys, don't refund your tickets. Just come out and see what we have to offer, because we really are capable and we have a really, really big show coming for you guys.
And it's going to be a good time, no matter what. It's going to be a good time, because when you look at the cast and the variety that's there, it's just a lot of talent. So you're not going to be bored. You're not going to be disappointed.
Yes, for sure.
All right. So just before we go, just remind the viewers, you know, how and when they can see you gracing the stage.
Okay. So you guys can see me on the Fusion Show on Sunday, the 20th of April, featuring Stephen Marley, Wayne Wonder, and Mr. Gramps Morgan himself. Really looking forward to it. Yeah.
All right, great. I want to thank you so much, Aniqua. Oh, Kwa, sorry. I've known you for so long.
Yes, that's fine.
So, you know, it's just ingrained in me. But, I mean, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you on that stage on Sunday night along with everybody else.
Yes.
So, thank you for being on with us. And viewers, thank you for viewing. And I just hope that you all have a safe and wonderful weekend. And we will see you again next week. So, bye for now.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the sky.